and welcome back to our second episode. We are here with Colleen McCrary, who is a theater major. Now, the first episode, Colleen told us a little bit about herself and her hopes and dreams, and you can catch that episode through our EPCC-TV YouTube channel. Now, for this second episode, I'm going to pick her brain a little bit more about the actual courses in the theater major. Okay, so the theater major, what is the first semester like? Can you pick maybe one or two classes out of there? Like, is there a staging one or acting one?
Yes, so the first semester, originally they planned it to where if you enter through the fall, you have to take acting 1 for sure.
Okay.
Because you have to take acting 2 in the spring.
Okay.
So it's acting 1 in the first semester. It's theater appreciation. He had, at the time, history of theater, which I took.
Okay.
And then I took the first practicum because there's 3 practicums.
Okay.
And usually practicums are, do you know what a practicum is?
Not quite, no.
Okay. A practicum, if you go to a university, they're break down to a practicum of costume, practicum of stagecraft or stage overall, set design, and then there's practicum of light and sound design.
Okay.
Yes, but Dominic, he puts that within each one, or just overall in general. So it's like a quick sum up of what you'll expect when you transfer.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll slowly progress and learn a little bit more each semester.
Nice. Okay, so acting 1, so obviously, as is the case with all the majors, I call it the barnyard course. Okay, I know. I have my nicknames for things. And what I mean by that is that we are an open enrollment college. So we get, anyone is welcome to major in music or in theater or in dance or in art, all of these things, right? So you get everybody that's interested in that acting 1 class.
Yes.
And I'm going to make assumptions, but I'm going to let you speak first before I make assumptions on that first initial crowd that walks in, right? So tell me a little bit about the group of students that walk into acting 1.
So the group is usually actors that have tried to act in El Paso.
Okay.
There's actors who are from theater but in high school.
Okay.
There are actors who want to learn acting, but they're mostly film actors.
Oh, okay.
There's actors who take acting because they believe it'll help them with their enunciation and conversation and speaking to a loud crowd kind of thing. So kind of like speech, but a little bit, of course, we have to be a little bit more dramatic and enthusiastic with other people in the crowd, how to interact with them.
Yes.
And then people that are really shy and they want to come and burst out of their shell.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So that's totally not what I was going to guess. I was going to guess people that wanted to go to Hollywood, that just thought, this is a stepping stone, my friends. I am actually headed to Hollywood. You all watch me. I'll teach you guys how it's done. Do you get any of those?
Yes.
Okay.
We had an actor, I can't remember his full name, but he came to acting class and he did community theater and now he's in LA.
Wow.
Yes. So the things he learned from TED actually benefited him and took him there. And we had someone else who went to New York.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What I love about Ted is his honesty.
Yes.
And because I know from previous experiences, there's a wonderful man, you probably didn't work with him because he did die a while back now, but he was a very good friend of mine that used to play piano for some of the musicals here at EPCC. And so he would come home, come to his apartment or his house and to call me and tell me what some of these experiences that he had. He was like, because what I love about Ted is that he will kind of have a heart-to-heart with them, kind of rein them in a little bit, teach them what they're doing wrong, tell them you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, let's fix this. And it does. They improve in their craft, right? So you have a group of individuals that are learning an array of skills. And so what you're telling me is that acting one is also like an elective for some folks.
Yeah, for some, yes.
Okay. I would have never guessed that. That's awesome. And so tell me the differences, because you did say the difference between speech, right, and acting one. I share a wall. My office, the wall separates me from the classroom where they teach speech on the other side. And so sometimes I'm listening in, and it seems like they talk more about, and I'm just guessing because I don't talk enough to the speech people about what their topics are, but it's more like different types of speech rather than enunciation. So that was key. So I don't think they teach that in speech, right?
Yes.
But you're saying they do that in acting. What helps them? What clicks with students when you're trying to, because I know the type you're talking about. I get them when we used to do presentations, right? The title of my presentation is, wow. And you're just like, what? There's 30 people in here, and nobody can hear you. What's happening right now?
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
So what works in that class to make them suddenly speak louder?
I think it's the fact that Ted makes you do it. Whether you like it or not, you're going to do it.
Right.
He'll tell you, I can't hear you, you gotta be louder. He'll tell you repeatedly.
Okay.
And you have to do it, even though you're shy, even though you're nervous, even though there's a group of people or a crowd of people watching you. Right. He will tell you, I don't know if he's told you this, old Myrtle won't hear you in the back. I don't know if you've heard him say.
No, that's funny. Yeah. Because I was shocked at several of these performances, and I have to say from some years in the past as well, making that comparison, is that the students are all clearly heard. Nobody's mumbling at all. And so I'm so impressed with that, right? That alone, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what's happening. I don't need subtitles, right? And so that's acting one. What are some of the techniques? Did anything surprise you in that class that you just didn't know?
Oof, I think it's just acting overall. I thought I understood acting. It's really easy. Oh, just pretend to be another actor. Okay. Or another character.
Sure.
But then it turns out it's more in depth. There's more character building, character development. How does a character sound? It's not going to sound like you unless they say they want you to sound like you. You're going to sound like someone else. So there was breaking up a script. So it's not a consistent running sentence. Okay. How to pace yourself. There's volumes in each sentence. You can sound happy at one point, then really sad at the end. And it's something like that. And it also showed that you may also need some vocal practice. And I did take a singing class with. Oh, nice. I think his name's Alejandro Pastrana. Yes. And that definitely helped me understand more of my script and how we want the actors to sound, maybe not consistent and through the script, a little bit more different in depth. Volume. Okay, sure. That's interesting. So you all get into that, and that's acting one. Yes. Wow. Okay. So what's acting two? Acting two is basically you're on your own. Okay. So you, off the back, are given different monologue. You have to do a monologue. Okay. Which is a very long, practically a page of acting on your own. And you have to memorize and portray what is being said on the page. Okay. And then you have to pair up with people in a group, and you have to block your own scene. So let's talk about blocking, because again, we're going to make some assumptions here that the general public knows a lot of this terminology. And so blocking is where you stand. Yes. Okay. And so I have two questions for you. First of all, how prescribed is it? Because my only familiarity is background footage of Days of Our Lives, right? And so they do mark, like you might even, well, the camera's not going to catch it, but sometimes I see tape in this studio where they wanted something to be placed, so you'll see a little, X on the stage. And so is it like, are you marking every spot for them?
or is it just the starting point?
So their mark is usually a T.
Okay, a T.
Yeah.
All right.
It's usually a T, and it marks where either items are going to be, like a set, or where they're going to be. Like in Beyond Therapy, we had to mark each stop our actor would have to make throughout the stage.
Oh.
So she knows where to stop.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and sometimes you use that just practice, and then you don't have to use it during the performance. Sometimes you do have to use it for the performance.
Okay.
And acting 2, for blocking, it's more of you enter stage left and you exit stage right kind of thing.
Okay.
Yes. Or you enter stage left and then you have to cross up stage center. And then you face front.
Okay.
Or then you have to turn and face profile right. That kind of thing. So it's very in-depth on everything.
Okay.
Every movement the actor makes, your face position, and that aspect. You learn that, I think, in the first acting, but then you have to apply it in the second one on your own.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's my first question. And then earlier when you were mentioning within a line of dialogue, how they change their mood or how they change the loudness, is that prescribed in the script? Is that told to you in the script? Or is that something that an actor just does based on the story?
It sometimes is in the script.
Okay.
The writer will be very controlling and see, like, I want you to sound very loud.
Right, sure.
in this
Okay.
moment. But sometimes it isn't, and you have to figure it out on your own.
Okay.
Your own flavor.
Okay. So, you all did Streetcar.
Yes.
I don't know if you were in that production or, okay, that wasn't you. Okay. But with Streetcar, which is a, very famous, very well known, is it super prescribed, I wonder?
I believe so, from what I've seen, because he does show us the footage of the performance for our theater appreciation class.
Okay.
So I would have to, they had stairs. I'm assuming you saw it.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. I didn't see the production, and I'm so sorry that I didn't see the production. But I've seen parts of the movie, and I know
oh goodness.
everything. And so cameras presents a whole nother element, right? And as just to kind of give you a little background, whenever we start an interview, for the show here, the producer, Marco, will come in and tell me, oh, don't sit so close, don't sit to the right, don't do this, don't do that, because as a matter of fact, I already have my cameraman wondering why I keep wiggling around. My apologies, cameraman. So so it's so interesting to me when you're looking at a film, how things don't lose focus in a film, right? It's so interesting to me, and how different that is from the stage. So do you prefer more direction from the writer, or do you prefer more liberty?
I believe it's better from the director.
It's better from the director.
Yes,
okay.
especially a director that has a lot more experience, and they're able to let you know. I mean, of course, you have your own ideas and creativity, which you're free to apply, but then, of course, a director that knows what they're doing, like Ted Carver, he's able to suggest, maybe don't do that, maybe like do it this way, or do exactly that but make it bigger, or do exactly that but do it smaller. Okay,
so the director is almost like, I don't want to say a co-writer, but essentially they're filling in the gaps that the writer left.
Yes.
I see. This makes sense now. Okay. All right. I know it's, and I've had Ted on the show, but usually we start to go off like 20 years back. We start to talk more about his life and more about other things. And so we don't talk about these little interesting details. So, okay. So the director is able to give these instructions, how to hold something, when to throw it, etc. Got it.
So that's the blocking, exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And then you'll also be assigned personal props. So it's like, oh, make sure you have your glasses, or that kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so that's acting 1 and acting 2. What are the classes you take with Mr. Pagano?
I took 2 stagecrafts. Okay. And 3 practicums.
Okay. The practicum, tell me again in this episode, that's just like it's like a, I'm trying to think of the word that I'm looking for, but it's essentially you show up at a specific time on your schedule, let's say 4:30 on Tuesday, and you get there and you just go to work.
Yes.
That's the practicum,
Yes.
right? So he assigns you the task, like we're going to build this set for Transylvania, right? And so you get there Tuesday at 4:30 and you're like, all right, where did I leave off? Pick up your hammer and you just start going. So the actual instruction, those courses are the staging courses that you mentioned. What's day one like?
Of practicum.
Of staging, of the lecture portion.
Of the lecture portion?
Yes.
So for stagecraft, we would do mostly lectures, and then some days we would do actual construction of the set or possibly furniture. And the lecture helps you learn how to build what you're about to build.
Okay.
Yes, so in depth, or how to tie a certain knot that may be needed in order to hold a curtain.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So you learn the details or the instructions or the step-by-step run through and the terminology, which is very important.
All right.
On stage, and then he puts you to use it and practice it.
Awesome. So I take it from the discussions I've had with Dominic Pagano that first day one is safety.
Yes.
Right? Don't drop the hammer on your foot. Wear safer shoes, et cetera, right? No cute sandals. So you go through safety. Then you start going through the breakdown of how you're going to build each set. My favorite set, and he did it for Anna Karenina, was the frames. Remember he had like the floating frames?
The screens.
Yeah, that was so cool. I loved that. And he said he's so creative when it comes to a lot of these sets. The other smart one he does is when he has it, it's a projector. And so it projects onto the background, like he might have like a wall or two, and it projects different images, like for snow or whatever it may be. I think it's excellent. I think he's really creative. And so you learn, this is what you're learning in stagecraft. And then what else do you take as a theater major? What are your other courses? Theater appreciation. Let's talk about that. I teach music appreciation. Where do you all start?
I believe we start on the theater of history. Where did theater come from?
Okay, the history of theater.
How did we get to this point? And then once we reach to now, modern time, I believe we start dissecting and looking at productions that, like Streetcar, and seeing how these people applied what was used in the past, and especially knowing like what is a stage. What is upstage? Do you know what upstage is?
No.
Upstage is the back of the theater.
Oh, okay.
And down is in the front, and it's because the stage used to be slanted.
And sometimes it still is for some productions. Yes. Okay, I've seen this. So you may not be familiar, but anytime I show a video of Wagner, and it's Wagner's Ring Cycle. Okay, so that's Wagner's Ring Cycle is 4 operas that are essentially about. It's very close to the Lord of the Rings, right? So you know the story of the Lord of the Rings, right? They're all obsessed with this little gold ring, and so with that one, I've seen several productions where exactly what you're describing, where it's tilted. So my question is, how do they not fall? What is the incline on it?
At Trans Mountain, it's flat, but in an original theater, it's in the long time ago. Some theaters probably still have it that way because they were built then. It's probably not that bad. Okay, but it's tilted enough to where the set design in the back looks and is being seen better in the back. I see. Okay. Okay, that's very interesting. How interesting. So, because some of these sets, and I'll point you in the direction of the Ring Cycle and some of the interesting things, and also the modern retelling of a lot of these, where they get really creative. Instead of showing a fake horse, they use instead, in that production, they use it's these blocks of wood that are probably
like not just 2x4s, but probably thicker than that, like a 4x4 in thickness, and they literally lift from the stage. And so it's 9 sisters. It's the daughters of Wotan. Wotan like Wednesday, Wotan's day, right? And so he has these 9 daughters, and they're riding these horses. And so these things are lifting from the stage as though they're riding them up and down in the sky. Very interesting, right? So, okay, so the stage is tilted. Fascinating. This is stage front.
Downstage.
Down, thank you. Downstage, and then this is upstage. Interesting. And at this angle, it does make sense. It makes perfect sense. So, okay, so they teach you this. And then I learned today, I ran into Dominic in the hallway.
Oh, goodness.
I know. He overheard us, and he came out of his classroom, and he's like, what are they saying about theater? And so we were, a colleague and I, we were talking about theater appreciation, as a matter of fact. And so Dominic came out, and I asked him, I was like, which way is stage left? And so it's from the performer's perspective.
Exactly.
So I'm the performer. Here I am. This is stage right, and this is stage left.
Exactly.
Okay. And I'm going to forget that, but somebody's going to have to remind me. But yeah, he was teaching us that this afternoon. So these are the sorts of things that you're learning in music appreciation as well. Okay. So in music, we start with medieval. We don't start with antiquity, but I think you all start with antiquity, right? You have to, because it starts with the Greek, the Greek
theater.
Yes, Greek theater, and just the whole principle of it. There was music incorporated in it, very much so in the early part. And then after you do antiquity, you go into the medieval. Do you remember how it changes? Because I couldn't tell you. From antiquity to medieval.
I think it was the Roman, and I think it was the church.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Right. This makes sense.
Yes.
So the church would have been trying to probably abolish theater altogether.
Yes, and that they practically, I think they did some sort of theater form, and it moved into the more upper parts of the Europe.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you start to have probably dedicated spaces, as you do with opera, right? And so let's kind of talk about that. So when you start getting into the meat and potatoes of things, probably the oldest is Shakespeare. Is that right? Off the top of my head, is what you all are studying is probably Shakespeare. And do you all study a lot of Shakespeare in theater appreciation?
Just a little bit, actually.
Okay.
Not a lot of it.
Okay.
We actually learn a lot about what are they called? Like Aristotle.
Okay. Yeah, the Greek philosophers.
Yes, philosophy, a lot of that. Definitely a lot of that. And then we touch a little bit of Shakespeare, but then we move into writers that, for example, I can't remember her name exactly, but she was a nun, and she wrote a play.
It's Hildegard von Bingen.
Thank you.
Because she was also a musician.
Yeah.
And so she wrote a lot of music, and she was also a scientist.
Yes.
So yes, that's the first chapter in our music appreciation book after we teach all the fundamentals, right? We teach all the terminology and everything, and this first person we talk about is Hildegard. And so she became a saint recently, about 12 years ago, from the previous pope. And I won't get into that long story because, we're talking about theater. But yeah, it's a very fascinating lady, and yes, she did a play on virtues.
Yes.
And so you study, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know you guys study Hildegard. And so you talk a little bit about Hildegard, talk a little bit about Shakespeare. That's taking us past King Henry VIII, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then you get into probably the Baroque, the Renaissance.
Yes.
The Renaissance, so plays would have, I'm comparing everything in my head to opera. Right? But how does the play evolve by the time you get to Frankenstein? By the time which Frankenstein is a book, I'm confused. How does it evolve until you get into like the classical period and the romantic period.
Right. So like the Renaissance. How do we get into that? I think it is the festivals.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
They would have festivals, and I believe they would have actors in these festivals, and they would be portraying our kings and queens. And
that's right, like your court jesters and all that. That makes sense. And there's comedy, and so and that reminds me of a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. That's a musical. Which I won't even get into that. I played in the pit orchestra for that several times, actually, in several locations, and that was a great musical. So in order to major in theater, you don't necessarily need to have any previous experience. 12 credit hours is the major. That's how we start. You start with theater appreciation, acting 1, stagecraft 1.
And practicum 1.
And practicum 1. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then you take a core course, right? Like your education 1300 or your English 1301. Excellent. And then and it's a 4-semester degree. Yes. And so you get to work with Ted Carber, you get to work with Dominic, a lot of folks from the community. People from the community can audition for these plays, by the way. So if you're interested and you're not enrolled at EPCC, you can come and audition. And so how many community folks do you have in this upcoming one? Do you have any? Or is it all EPCC?
I think we have a early college student.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's in it. And then I thought she was part of the community, but she later on told us she's actually an English major.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But she's a non-theater major.
Yeah, she's a non-theater
That's
major.
awesome.
So.
That's awesome. So for anybody that's interested, contact Ted Carber or Dominic Pagano, and they would love to have you come and audition. And there's plenty of roles, not just the main roles, but also all the background roles that you can have, right? So yes, please, and if you have any questions for me, or if you would like me to direct you to the correct person here at EPCC, contact me at yflore14@epcc.edu. My extension is 2361. Give me a call. And again, thank you so much for joining us again today. This is Colleen McCrary. We hope to see you in 10 years in Days of Our Lives. Okay? All right. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.